Okay, so today I'm here with my parents, and today we're kind of gonna talk about something a little different. More so, I talk a lot about like God and religion and stuff like that. But since I have them here today, I kind of wanted to ask them like, how has their experience been like when it comes when it comes to when it comes to having like kids in college. So like, who wants to talk about it first?
Well, I can start the conversation. Having kids in college is, first of all, I would say I'm a very proud parent that my three children have, once they graduate from high school, it was not of a struggle to encourage them to go on to higher learning. The one thing we always talked about when they were kids coming up is learn all you can so you can be the best that you can. And so having three kids in college for me was a proud moment. But the flip side of that, it's a financial drain as well. So any parents that knows what it is to send a kid in college, one, you just multiply that by three. So I can tell you now, I'm always juggling bills, juggling things to make sure they have what they need. My kids, they do what they can for our scholarships and all that, but college always got something that pops up, whether it's something dealing with their health where they may have to go to the emergency room or go get some type of treatment for something maybe going on. Something may happen to their vehicle, or something may happen to their apartment. There's always something that's always happening. Their classes or dealing with teachers. There's always challenges you have to deal with and have to work through as a parent with your child. And so it's a very proud opportunity, but with that comes a lot of time and requirements to keep things going.
Okay, okay. What about for you, mommy?
So for me, having three kids going off to college
At
was
the same time.
at the same time was it was a twofold. It was a proud moment on one aspect because you finally can see all the effort that your kids had put in from elementary school up into high school, and now they were venturing off into their next phase of school. So that part was a proud moment, but for a parent and as a mother, it was a sad moment for me because now I had put, you're used as a parent putting all your time and effort into your children. And now, once they are leaving the house, you wonder if you have trained them the best that you can to be prepared for the world. Because now you're not going to always be there to guide them their every step, tell them when it's time to get up, tell them to come downstairs and eat, tell them, step by step pretty much how to manage their day. Now it's something they're going to have to figure out on their own. So you don't know if you've trained them, to how to cook, how to wash their clothes, how to manage money. You hope that you have, but you really don't find out whether you did those things until they go off to college. So again, mine was like a twofold thing. I was happy and I was sad at the same time.
Okay. Well, I would say personally, as for me, like as a child going off, I felt like there was so much happiness as well as like so much like just uncertainties. And I only say that because it's like for the last 17 going on 18 years of my life, your home, your parents are the things that you lean on. Your My siblings were what I leaned on. And so understanding that me and my parents as well as my siblings were going to be in all different places, that was the scary part. But I had to incorporate God in this. And I will say that one thing about it is that what kept me is that knowing that even though my parents might not have been there, God was always going to be with me. As long as I kept him in my heart, as long as I kept him in my mind, as long as I kept doing the things that I needed to do and understand that God is with me throughout anything. So even in those tough moments, when I'm even in college now, I have to continue to remember that if you don't got, sometimes you feel like you don't got nothing, you still got God because He knows all your struggles, everything that you're going through, in the midst of everything else. But I would say my next question would be do you feel like college is necessary? So let's say, and I feel like this is a good topic to talk about because actually the like college application season like is during this time. So it's like, do you feel like college is necessary, or do you feel like college is the easy option when you don't know what else is out there?
Well, I feel that college is necessary definitely for African Americans. For me, somebody that works in the corporate America, being sometimes the only African American on the team, what has kept my job, what separated me is the fact that I did have a degree. I recommend that anybody go off to school to get higher learning and get a degree because it does open doors. I can prove my point. Even when you go and apply for a car loan or for a house mortgage, the first thing they ask for, how many years of education have you received? And believe it or not, by the number you put in there, sometime will determine whether or not you get that loan. So what I'm trying to get you to understand as a young black African or anybody, African American and anybody, higher education open doors for you. You still have to do the work to keep that job, but it would give you opportunity to be listened to, talked to. There are many times where they might want to challenge my what I make, but once you have a degree, they cannot take it from you. So over and over again, I would encourage anybody that going off for higher education. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I came up without a whole lot. I came up so poor that a higher education seemed like a luxury. But within myself, I knew it was a necessity at the time. So I would work two jobs, and I loved my parents. They didn't have a whole lot, but what they had for me was a good home, love. I didn't come from money, but that was all I needed to do the best I could for them, to show them they raised me well, and that love was all they needed to do if they couldn't do nothing else. And I used that love and turned that into energy to work jobs, to pay my way through school because I understood that as time went on, the way things are changing, if you did not have a degree, it would be very difficult for you to get in and make a salary where you can actually live on.
Okay. Do you have anything to say to that?
So, what I would say to that is yes, I do feel like having a college degree will put you more in the front of the line to get a job. However, I do know that everybody that have a good job now, that has a good job now, everybody didn't go to college. Some people is it's been who you know that has got them to where they are, or they happen to be in the right place at the right time, and it got them the job that they have. I believe that college may not be for everybody. So I also feel like, you know, why waste money going to college just because, that's what you feel like you are supposed to do, but you know yourself better than anyone. I would say follow your heart, follow your what you know what's in you. So you should do what you know is best. I don't think anybody should just and go to college just because that's something everybody's telling them that they should do. If you know school is not for you, if you've struggled in high school, you may need to step back and find who you are and really find out what it is that you really want to do in life, and then take that next step. There's been a lot of people that have tried to go to college, and I'm saying going into a 4-year college. I do think that you can go to a 2-year institution and focus on a trade if you don't know what you actually want to go into, because college can be very expensive. And so a lot of people now are choosing to do the 2-year degree and then transfer into the 4-year college if that's something that they choose to do.
Okay. You have something else?
Yeah, so my wife touched on a very important point that college may not be for everybody, but you still have to have a plan after you get out of high school. She's right. If college not for you, you should go get a trade. And I've left high school, and people that I left high school with, some didn't go to 4-year university. They went and got trades and started their own businesses. And monetarily, they are better off than I am today. The thing the point I'm trying to make is, people are changing the rules and regulations now when it comes to opportunities. Now they're forcing people to have a 2 year or 4 year degree to get into certain companies and stuff like that. What I'm telling you is, no, you don't have to go out to college, but if you want to get past those barriers that they set you up for, what I'm just trying to get you to understand is you want to position yourself that there's nothing anybody can put in your way that can stop you from getting where you're trying to go. So a trade is probably better for you if you don't like going to school. But I know a lot of tradesmen make good money, have started jobs and done a lot of things. I have brothers and sisters that started businesses with no degrees, but over time, requirements changed in that industry, and where they were forced to go to school to get a degree if they want to keep their company open. That's the game that people are playing. So, what I'm saying is, you're right. Know yourself. If you're better a tradesman, you can still make money. But I'm telling you, the trick is to have a plan and to realize once you leave high school that you have to have a plan, whether go to a trade school or higher education, but have a plan.
Okay. So I'm gonna say for me, cause y'all heard their perspectives, but I would say for me being in college, I feel like sometimes, well, looking at people like when I've gone to job fairs, it's so funny that sometimes people that have degrees don't even have jobs that align to their degrees. And I find that to be like a little kind of like, I don't know. I feel like that's just a little weird in my perspective. And I would also say, like, for me, sometimes it's like seeing that there are some certain people who do make money and they don't have degrees. Like, and sometimes it can kind of like not motivate me because it's like if I see someone down the road, they didn't choose college, but yet they're already ahead in life. Like, what is motivating me? So I would say when it comes to being in college, you have to have your reason. You have to have your why. Because if you don't, there can be a lot of external factors that, or even internal factors that will make you just want to give up or give in. So you have to have your reason and you have to understand and know why you are in college. Not why your mama wants you to be in college, not why your daddy wants you to be in college, but why you want to be in college. And I feel like that makes the process a little bit more obtainable. Then you have a goal. Now you have a vision. Now all those things you want to obtain because you want to do it. Um, so yeah. Is there anything else that y'all would like to add when it comes to college, or maybe even what would be some good advice that you would give somebody who might be entering into college, like they've already probably got accepted into school, and you're like they're excited for school. Like, what are some things that you would say, like, okay, you might should watch out for this.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, my advice to any student that coming from high school, I don't care if you're A student, if you're like top of your class, if you're like valedictorian. When I went to the NC State that I went to school at, I met two people who were valedictorians from the school they came from. They flunked out in the second semester they were there. And why? Why? You know why? Because they had came from an environment where everybody thought they were smart and they probably had a rhythm or a system of doing stuff. And in high school, a lot of times you're familiar with a lot of the subjects that you're studying and you're not clueless on a lot of the stuff that is given to you. When you come to college, you're paying for information that's not common knowledge to a lot of people. So what I'm trying to say is when you come in, you're going to be exposed to stuff you never seen before. So what I'm getting at is you got to learn how to study. A lot of people went through
That's
a
good.
lot of people went through high school and they were glancing through because they were familiar with the subject and didn't have to study. But when you come to college looking at stuff you never seen before, dealing with different people, and now you are in a bigger crowd of more talented people, there's more competition. So now you're gonna have to study, stay on top of things. So what I would tell you is don't come to college thinking that you can do the same thing you did in high school. Come prepared, be willing to study, put the time in, and pick a major that you know you're gonna be committed to. Don't go into engineering if you know you don't want to study. Don't go into in type of medical field where you know you got to be dedicated to the labs, things like that. If you somebody you know you like to party and do all that, you go pick something else. So what I'm telling you is the one thing I would tell you is come prepared to study, and don't assume because you were a valedictorian in high school that you're gonna be a valedictorian in college.
That was good. That was actually good because I actually need to hear that for myself. Do you have anything that you want to say? Maybe not even when it comes to school itself, but like maybe physically, mentally, your emotional state,
Yeah.
any of that.
What I would say to a person getting ready to enter into college is probably the same thing that we told our kids. One, is to keep God first, because even when your parents are not there, God is still there. He's going to always be there. Secondly, I would tell you is to have or develop good time management skills, because if you don't have that, college is going to be hard. You have to now know how to manage your time to get something to eat, time to wash your clothes, time to take a nap, time to socialize with your friends, time to study, and all of that. And it can get very overwhelming. Whereas when you're at home, those things are pretty much done for you. You're told, okay, now, class is over, get on the bus or drive your car home and all of that. And then when you get home, your parents are going to fix your foods and then they tell you when to come eat. So all of that is pretty much done for you. But now you have to manage that on your own. So, secondly, I would say you need to have great time management skills. Thirdly, I would say watch out for your mental health. Mental health is becoming a big thing. And sometimes you may not have people around you that you feel comfortable talking to. And so sometimes you may find yourself alone. And I would say in those times, you have to do things for your mental health, whether it's taking a walk. Don't forget your passion, things that you love doing. Continue to do those things as well. And whether it's listening to music, whether it's writing, you still need to take out some time to do those things that you love doing. Fourthly, I would say don't forget home. Your parents are your support system and they will always be your support system. So don't get too far out there where you, just because now you're living on your own, that you think that you are actually on your own, because you're not. We're still paying bills for most kids. Your parents are still paying your bills. So don't forget where your strength comes from. Your parents are going to always be there. They're going to be praying for you. They are your biggest rah-rah groupie, or whatever you want to call them, cheerleaders. And they always have your best interests at hand. So those would probably be my advice for children that are getting ready to go off to college for the first time.
Okay. I would say me personally, being someone that is in college, the biggest thing is that when it comes to God, you will realize how strong your relationship is with Him. Because there are going to be obstacles, tests, trials that you go through, and depending on how strong you created a relationship with God prior to before you left, is going to determine how strong it is when you're in college. And for me, I had to rebuild. I did. I had to rebuild my thought process. I had to understand, deep dive, really change how I saw God and understand that God is actually there for me, even in the times that I don't think that He's there. He's omnipresent, so He's always going to be there. And also the mental aspect, that your mental health, you don't understand how much sometimes burnout can lead to mental health issues. If you are always trying to get that next assignment turned in, and don't actually take any time for you, it can start to get you mentally. I will also say ask for help. When it comes to college, there's so many resources given to you. You're paying for it, so use them. Go to tutoring. You're paying for it. Use it. I know at my school we have CAPS, called Counseling and Psychological Services. Use it if you need it. Recreational center to work out. use it. Those things are not there by accident. Those are things that can all help your mental health and for you to get on the level that you need to be to thrive. Um, because what you don't want to do is have a degree, but then you lost yourself in the entire process. The purpose of college is to help find yourself in college, you know? So that's all I really had to say about that. I actually don't have much more else to say and regarding when it comes to college and college life. Do y'all personally have anything else to add in regards to the topic itself or just any other comments?
Well, we kind of talked through a lot of different things pertaining to college, but I would sum it up like this: you need to prioritize. You know, you put God first, and then you put your academic second, and then your organizations and things you get into, activities third. Keep a good priority so that you don't mess up. You prioritize and put them in the right order. I promise you, you will be successful.
You have any last words?
I don't really have much to say anymore on the college topic, except for it's not cheap. So you're not going to college to have a good time per se. Everybody know you're going to do that anyway. But I think you do need to keep in mind that it's not like going to high school where is that's free, but college is not. It's you're paying for it in some form or fashion. Whether you had to get a scholarship, you're still paying for something. Whether it's gas to put in your car or you're still maybe paying for food. You're gonna pay for something, and all that stuff adds up. So, like my husband said, keep prioritize what's the main reason for going to college, and try to make it out in those 4 years if you can, and not be a lifelong student in college. That's all I have to say.
For me, I would say that it's worth it. Like when it comes to it, I know it might be hard now, but y'all, it's 4 years. Like it might seem hard in the process, but the results is what's worth it. The long time or the long term benefits that come from it is what's worth it. So yes, you might struggle now. Yes, it might be a little hard, but understand that at the end of it is what you're there for. The rewards, the benefits that come from it. So don't give up, don't give in, and keep pushing, keep striving to do what you got to do to get in and get out. And yeah, um, and that's honestly it, y'all. All right, we did it. All right.